Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Flag Nerds podcast. I'm Ivan,
I'm Brittany.
and so I actually misspoke in the past episode. This is actually episode 10.
I thought so.
Yeah, last episode I said that it was episode 8. Last episode
Yeah,
was episode 9. This is episode 10,
yeah.
and as and now that it's episode 10, here's some kind of a big announcement thing. Uh, we're on Spotify now.
Are we actually?
Yeah,
Holy shit! So there you go. Another way you guys can watch or not watch. Perfect timing on that, Blake.
I mean, you can actually
But
watch it because
right,
Spotify now has uh, video
like
podcasts.
video. Yeah.
So yeah, you can actually like watch it now on Spotify and also listen
Yeah.
to it.
Oh my god. Yeah. So another way to listen/watch the podcast.
Yeah. Right now there are already 4 episodes up. So I've been doing it for about a month now. Yeah. I have actually like updating the site like weekly and whatnot.
Right.
And like there's an actual like thumbnail and everything for the show. Yeah, I've been working at it for 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 a while now.
Right.
Uh,
That's definitely a definite milestone in the series.
yeah, because we've been talking about it for a while now that we've been wanting to get the podcast on Spotify.
Yeah. Because Spotify and then YouTube, it's basically the two major platforms for podcasts. The
Yeah,
only other one at that point would be, I think, Audible
not really, not Audible. Apple Music, I guess.
or Apple Music, yeah. But that requires going through Apple, and that's
Yeah, I'm not
pain
doing
in
that.
the ass.
Neither of us have an Apple product, so
The only way I think we would start doing Apple Music is if somehow we just suddenly just blow up. Which, if that happens, holy shit! Like,
yeah,
fucking, we weren't doing this as a way of blowing up. It's just us talking about stuff and just going with it.
yeah. This is, I mean, like this podcast is essentially a way for us to catch up.
It's a way for us to catch up, and then it's also for a way to just you know be nerds.
Yeah.
Um, it
Speaking of nerdy things, actually, I went to Comic
okay.
Con.
Funny you mentioned that. I went to a Renaissance fair just a couple weeks ago. So
Nice.
we both went to social stuff.
Yeah,
I really want to go to a Comic Con or just some sort of like big con, but
yeah. I love the badge for Comic Con because so if you look at it, it's a
oh, Spy X Family,
Spy Family,
Spy
The
Family, yeah.
Axis. Yeah, I,
Okay,
I
you
I
know how
love the.
many shows have the X be silent or not? It's like,
There's only two. There's this and Hunter x Hunter.
but there's another one. Either way.
Probably, but yeah, I love this show.
Okay, so there's probably a lot of them out there. It's just ones that we don't know
Yeah,
because it's anime.
mm,
There's an anime almost for anything.
yeah, uh,
So
but, but yeah, I watched this show like fairly recently,
okay,
before Comic Con, and I loved it. And then I see
right,
it, and then my friend he hands me my Comic Con badge. I'm just like, oh my god,
right.
it's Spy Family. It's so cool.
I've been meaning to watch Spy Family. I've heard it's really good.
It's so good. Season 2 is out now.
I actually found out that season 3 of Rising of the Shield Hero is out. I'm not caught up on
That
season 2,
that is also a thing that's out.
and I got made aware of that, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm behind. And apparently another season of Doctor Stone is out, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
God, every one of the animes that I'm super into is getting new seasons, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I also got to catch up on Volume 9 of RWBY.
Yeah, I'm like a couple of episodes into that. I'm almost done with that.
Blake, you are picking the worst times to be a brat right
I just
now. Oh,
she jumped on the
stop!
keyboard because
He's jumping on the cue.
I could see the
Yes.
Discord thing.
Ah,
But yeah, it's so Comic Con was a lot of fun. Uh, the crazy thing was that Comic Con was on my brother and sister's birthday. So most of the money that I had for Comic Con was spent on them.
fair enough.
Yeah. For my sister. So part of one of the things that you can do at Comic Con is you can pay for like a signing opportunity with like certain actors and whatnot. And
Okay,
yeah. So one of the actors that I got the opportunity to do that with was David Tennant, who is the 10th Doctor for Doctor Who.
Oh wow, that's fucking
Yeah,
cool.
and me and
I
my
knew that name sounded familiar. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, I know that name. Where is it from?
I
Yeah,
mean like he was also Scrooge McDuck in the recent DuckTales.
gotcha.
Yeah, he was in other things, but that's mostly where you would know him from. You
Right.
specifically.
Yeah, me specifically. People, whoever may be watching this, you guys might know like more, but
Oh yeah, I know him from
for
a
me
lot.
personally, yeah, I would only know mainly from Scrooge McDuck, and that's maybe it because I haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who.
So yeah, you haven't obviously watched a lot of Doctor Who, but that mainly where you would know him from. Uh, so yeah, me and my sister are huge fans of his, because of Doctor Who. Uh,
Right.
Me a little bit more because like I actually watch a lot of his other things. I won't get into that, so originally I was gonna get my pop figure of his. Uh,
Mind.
yeah. Yeah, originally I was gonna get this signed, which is his pop figure. Uh, but and I even like took it with me and was thinking about it, but then I'm just like, I don't. And I'm seeing that a couple of people were doing that. Obviously, I was gonna. I'm not like, ah, man, a lot of people are doing it. Maybe I shouldn't, because that seems kind of weird that he's doing a lot of pop figures. Obviously not. That's normal.
Right.
The thing that I was a little bit hesitant on is the fact that everybody had the box.
Oh,
I don't have the box.
damn.
So that's one thing I was a little bit hesitant on. And I was
Gotcha. Gotcha.
mainly just gonna have him sign it on the back of the head. So again, again, that's not too much of a problem. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'd rather have the box if I'm gonna get this thing signed. And then, but then I'm just like, let me grab a picture and get that signed, and have him sign it for my sister instead, and and have him write "Happy Birthday" on it as like a birthday present for my sister. So I ended up doing that instead. And
Yeah.
yeah, when I gave it to my sister the next day, like she screamed.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. That's like Well, I was at the Renaissance Fair. There was this dude that was selling these handmade wooden deck boxes for card games,
Ooh.
specifically Magic the Gathering and Commander decks.
Mm.
But something caught my eye more. He had plaques made out of specific wood for the main Ruby characters.
Oh, that's so cool.
But he was out of Weiss, and I was so
Ooh.
pissed. He had Ruby, Blake, and Yang, but he was out of Weiss because the wood they use for specifically Weiss, I don't remember which one it was. I think he said birch or something.
Might have been birch because yeah, birch is
Yeah.
white on the outside.
He said they were out of it, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. But then I got talking to him, and he was at a convention or something. I remember what he said, but he met the voice actresses for all the characters.
That's
They were
cool.
at And I'm just sitting there so jealous. I'm like, man, I would love to get to like meet each of those voice actresses in person. Specifically Weiss and probably Blake's voice actresses.
Yeah, Aaron Zech and I'm forgetting what Weiss's voice actress is.
I am too. We'll probably throw it up on screen
Yeah,
since we're blanking
yeah.
on it.
I remember
But
their names back in the day.
oh,
But
same. But it's just like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could have totally gone to one of this because I think it was in Chicago or something. It was still a big city, but
ah,
it was like I don't remember. I'd have to look. Or it was at a convention. I don't remember.
yeah.
Um, but I really wanted to get a Weiss plaque because it would have been so cool to have. But I don't because they ran out.
Mm,
But while I was there at the convention, I did get a couple of things. One of the things I got, and I can grab it here in a second, I got 3 pins, and 2 of them are with LGBT. One of them is a pronoun pin, she, her. Another one is a trans flag with a cat that is a lesbian,
cool.
because they didn't have one for pansexual, and that was the closest I had.
Yeah.
And then the third one is a very hilarious one. It's a chaotic. It's literally called. I got it because it's funny. It's literally called chaotic horny, and I just thought it was hilarious.
I mean, like
And they,
that's just Bard.
yeah, literally, I got it because like, oh, ha ha, Bard. But the funny thing is, the guy is like, we have the opposite to that too, and I'm like, okay, you're just doing that for the jokes at that point. But the other thing, I gotta disconnect my headset for a second. The other thing I think is really fucking cool is I got a Final Fantasy sword.
Ooh.
Grab it. And I will be behind my couch for this because this thing is big. I got
Oh, you
this.
got the Buster Sword.
I have a Buster sword. And this cost me $50. And
Dang.
it's not life size,
Obviously not, because the
but
Buster Sword is like 5 feet tall.
like, yeah, I don't remember. It's basically as tall as what Cloud is, and I think Cloud is like 5'9" or something.
Yeah, it's like slightly shorter than his full height.
Yeah, so it's probably like 5'6", 5'7" full.
Yeah.
But something my stepdad pointed out is the materia slots. We could totally 3D print materia for it,
Oh, cool.
and I was like, that would be so cool. And yeah, $50 for that Buster Sword, and I thought it was gonna be like totally like more than like 100 because of how iconic it is.
Yeah. Yeah. At Comic Con, they also had like swords and stuff like that. Is that a foam sword or
Yeah,
is it?
it is cool. It is foam.
Okay, yeah.
I actually have it hanging up on my wall right now because I have these little stick hooks,
Ah,
so I
okay.
have it literally resting there on my wall.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they had those at Comic Con. I wanted to get the Elucidator and Excalibur.
yeah, if it wasn't in my brother's room, I actually have Asana's sword from season 1 of SAO in my room.
That I know that this is for the audience.
Yeah, I have Asana's sword.
I've held it. It's pretty
I
heavy.
It is very heavy. The thing that doesn't help it is the thing is full metal. Like
Yeah.
if it was just the blade, a lot of that weight wouldn't be there, but it also has to counterbalance because that it's still a really heavy sword.
Yeah, it's like an actual sword, but with a blunt edge.
If it had more of a tang to it and like just a lot of stuff to reduce the weight, it would be a lot better on the weight
Yeah.
side. It might not look as close to as Asana's. It might take a little bit of like
Creative
sacrificing
liberties. Yeah.
yeah. But I did see her other sword, the one she has in, I think it's
Alfheim?
Elfheim. Yeah, they had that sword at the Renaissance Fair, and I saw it, and I'm like, had the money, I would get that. Literally get both of her swords. They did have the Elucidator. They had Kirito's other sword,
Excalibur.
and then they even had Excalibur, and they even had a couple of other anime swords. They even had Dante's sword from Devil May Cry.
Oh, I think it's called Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
Something like that. But I saw it and I tried to hold it just to kind of see what the weight was. and I could feel so much weight from the middle piece
Mm-hmm.
because that skull and stuff is just.
Yeah.
And then of course they had your swords from other video games like WoW and whatnot.
Mm.
And then they even had an energy sword from Halo.
That. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I talked to the
I
guy
mean, like
about it. He's
David
like,
has one. So.
well, I talked to the guy about it. He's like, surprisingly, they've been there for like weeks, and I'm like, no one's bought these. What the fuck? And they were like $80. They were like, they weren't expensive. It's just people. I guess Halo's been kind of just going downhill a little bit in popularity.
Yeah, because the Infinite hasn't really been that good,
Amazing.
and 5 was really bad.
That's fair. But no, it's crazy seeing all of the swords and stuff that I recognize from anime and video games at these Ren fairs.
Yeah, I mean, like I get it because a lot of like anime and video games are just fantasy settings and whatnot.
I even
Actually,
saw a Full Metal Keyblade. I'm not sure which Keyblade it was. It was not Sora's basic one. It was one of the more specific ones.
right?
And off memory alone, I wouldn't be able to describe it enough that someone could say what it is. But I know it was a very fancy looking one.
Mm.
But go ahead with what you were going to say.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like also speaking of Sao, I finally watched Alicization.
Okay.
It's really good.
Is it?
It's so good.
I've heard the light novels that SAO has come out with are also really good.
Those I haven't really read. I might read them at some point.
From what I've heard, a lot of people are saying that the light novels paint just SAO in general in a much better light
Mm.
and in a more what makes sense instead of just this very much romanticized version that we got. That was the first season and second season.
I'm like the reason why it was a romanticized version is because the characters themselves sort of romanticized Sao,
Yeah.
even though it's a huge tragedy within their world.
Yeah, that was my problem always. Is like for how serious the situation is, these people are like not as I would think they would be acting.
It's because they lived full on lives
Yeah.
in the game, so obviously,
After a while, you start getting desensitized.
yeah.
Um.
After a while, Stockholm syndrome kicks in. So
Yeah. And then you had the disaster. I hate to, as much as I hate to say it, because I like the concept, but I hate how it played out. Was Alfheim, the first season of Alfheim.
yeah,
I,
I mean,
I
like,
will preface that.
I liked Alfheim. I think I watched the movie. I'm forgetting what it's called.
I know which one you're talking about.
Ordinal Scale. There we go.
Yeah. Ordinal Scale wasn't terrible.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have the one I've noticed people tend to shit on more is Gun Gale.
Yeah, a lot of people really don't like Gun Gale.
I think it's just because it's a huge swerve in a different direction.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
I didn't either. I actually really like Gun Gale. I will say Kirito just saying, "Look at me, I'm the main protagonist," was kind of annoying after a while. Like, dude, just use a fucking gun.
I mean, like I like the Star Wars reference essentially.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But it's still like, okay, you're using what is considered the weakest weapon and turning it into one of the strongest. What the hell?
I mean, like
Then again, how many other animes do the exact same fucking thing?
it's very true. I mean, like
So,
Seven Deadly Sins. He uses a broken sword.
yeah. Granted, let's be fair with Meliodas. That man's holding back 9 times out of 10.
That's also very true.
I haven't watched all of Sword Art, or not Sword Art, Seven Deadly Sins, but even I know from what they had on Netflix at the time that he was holding back.
I haven't seen the final season. I need to watch the final season.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit. I haven't seen all of the stuff with Escanor and all of the like newer stuff.
Yeah.
Like I watched up to when Merlin joined, so I'm really fucking far behind.
Yeah, same.
But It's just there's so many animes I have to get caught up on that it's hard. It's kind of daunting trying to figure out which one to go for.
Yeah, it's been a bit difficult for me because my Crunchyroll subscription ran out.
Yeah. Right
I,
now, I have to decide between because I'm setting Naruto to the side because I was watching that in my free time,
mm,
and I have to figure out if I'm going to watch Doctor Stone, Ruby, Rising of the Shield Hero, or finish Fire Force because I started that.
I suggest finishing Fire Force and Ruby because like Fire Force, I don't think is that big.
I don't believe so. But that also depends on how much there is in the manga
Right.
because they could be like at a certain point where they're not caught up in the manga, but I don't know.
Mm,
I'd have to look it up.
yeah, and
But yeah,
Ruby,
my
you just
plan
have to
is
finish the final season, and that's only like 6 episodes, 7 episodes.
final season, the current season.
Yeah, because I
Um,
think they did announce season 10.
yeah. Well, to be fair, from what my brother said, like they're still doing the just random cliffhangers. So,
Mm,
because he has got caught up, and he told me it is a very weird season.
hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, more and more anime stuff. So, I also watched. Finally, I watched JJK.
Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, it's not as good as everybody says it is.
I've heard it. Yeah. I think from what most people say, I think Gojo carries a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing is the thing about JJK is that like I've heard zero negative things about the show, and then I watched
But
it, and I'm just like, what? I don't.
I mean, do we need to bring up Dragon Ball fans
But see,
and how because they do the similar thing. They talk all this praise about Dragon Ball, and then anytime they're met with actual negativity, they're like, yeah,
see the thing with Dragon Ball is that it has nostalgia factor.
that is true. It does have the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, JJK came out 3 years ago, so
Yeah. What was it? Is it Mob Psycho is getting reanimated or something?
uh, it might be Mob Psycho, it might be Psychopaths. I don't know.
It was some anime. Is getting a reanimation done, and they're not changing the story or anything. It's just bringing its animations up to what is current day. I want to say it was Mob Psycho.
I'm like
One of my friends was
Mob Psycho wasn't really that behind. Mob Psycho. I mean, like Mob Psycho came out like I want to say 2018, somewhere around there,
something I don't
2017.
remember. Um, but I'd have to ask my friend again because he brought
Yeah,
it up to me.
because it came out like a couple of years after One Punch.
Yeah, like if I was gonna say any anime could be reanimated and do well, I'd say Cowboy Bebop wouldn't be a bad one. Like, don't change anything with the story, but
I think Bebop is fine where it is.
yeah,
And
I'm just using it as an example.
yeah, I feel like the whole like aesthetic of it being and looking old.
Is
Uh,
the point
yeah, it fits the show, and
right?
it adds to the aesthetic of the show.
Yeah, that's very true. Shifting topics though, with Mario Wonder releasing.
Yeah, I'm not done with the anime, by the way.
Oh no,
No,
still
I
got more.
I still got more because I watched a lot of anime.
Oh god, and I'm over here not having watched anything.
Dude, within like the past like 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
my list has gone up. Uh, has gone up from like about 60 or 70 to 107.
Jesus.
Yeah, I watched a lot of anime. So
Well,
yeah, it's mostly been like slice of life romance animes, but
All
Uh,
right.
so one show that I actually just finished. Uh, it's called My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. Um,
Okay.
the title does not give the show justice.
Really?
The title is really stupid, but the show is amazing.
Let's be fair. That's not an uncommon thing.
Yeah, but, and also the title of the show makes it sound like a romantic comedy. It's not a romantic comedy. It's a very serious drama.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's weird. Like I went into the show initially intending it to be like a full on romantic comedy, and because it's basically what I've been watching for like the past 2 months.
Right.
It, and I'm watching it and I was like, this is a very serious show. Like yeah, there's comedy elements to it. It's not like super serious in how it carries itself, the way that like Death Note does or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But this is a very like deep serious show,
Okay.
and it was really good.
I mean, yeah. You definitely have your animes that are their titles don't really give them justice. Like I didn't think Fire Force was going to be as good as it is from what I've seen, and it's like because I didn't think anything of it from what the promotion art and the title was. I was like, oh, this is just a show about firefighters. It's not really that much. And then I actually watch it, and I'm like, oh no, this is
It,
much different than I thought.
I know. I mean, like I know that Fire Force. It is a show about firefighters, but like they're actually fighting the fires.
Yeah, they're actually
Like the fire is an entity.
yeah, and it's a really really interesting thought.
Mm-hmm. It,
So
yeah.
he won't quit.
Yeah, I know. That's it. But yeah, I watched so much anime in the past like 2-3 months. It it's really crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and I'm still in the middle of a couple more.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to watch Fairy Tail too. Super behind on that.
Oh, I'm like way behind on Fairy Tail. I mean like
Oh yeah,
I've seen at least like 3 or 4 arcs of the show.
I still remember. I'm as far as I can remember is when Loxus is exiled from the guild. So like,
Uh, I'm I'm not. I don't think I'm up to the. I don't know where I am, but
that's fair.
yeah. I mean, I mean, like there was a lot of things that happened
Well, to be fair,
from where I
Fairy
left off.
Tail, each of the arcs kind of go fast.
Yeah, and also there's so much to Fairy Tale.
There
It's
is
a very long show.
I also finally got caught up on what I know there is of that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Ah,
I
so
finally fully I caught up on what I think there is for the anime. I haven't looked to see if there's more, but I know there's more for the manga.
mm,
Um,
yeah,
get out of that.
yeah. I, I wanted to like actually make an actual official list on my anime list for all the
Oh,
anime
okay.
that I've seen, but the site got hacked fairly recently.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so it's like nobody can use the site anymore. Luckily, I have a decently good memory. So and well, I say decently good. It's better than a lot of people's.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just like just made a list on Google Docs, and my total anime count is up to 108.
I think mine is still like in the 30s. I think.
Yeah, I am counting like the movies as like separate things.
Yeah, I'd still be in the 30s because I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 anime movies.
What about the Pokemon ones?
Okay, if we're counting Pokemon, yeah, then we jump up probably like to 40.
Yeah, because I did uh I added all the Pokemon movies that I have seen. Uh, I've seen the Arceus movie, the Darkrai movie, 2000, the Zoroark movie, the Diancie movie, the Hoopa movie, the Volcanion movie, the second Mewtwo movie, and yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, eight of the Pokemon movies.
Also, let's be fair. Who hasn't seen Pokemon 2000?
That's fair.
Also, to add on to that, the ones I've seen, there is the Entei movie.
Oh, I forgot about the NT movie.
Yeah,
I haven't
that
seen
one.
it, but yeah, that's
Um, there is the Giratina movie with, or no, that's the Shaman movie.
right.
But they can be flipped to whoever you want to focus on for that because it's Giratina and Shaman.
Right.
Um, there is the Latias and Latios one, which I think isn't 2000.
No.
No, it's not, because that's the one with the. There's the Lucario movie
Yeah.
with No, there's the Celebi movie too.
Yeah.
Um, basically, there's like a movie for each of the legendaries. There's the
Yeah.
Zekrom and Reshiram movie with Kiram in it.
I don't know if I saw that because I watched all of
So
Black and
what I
White.
think with the Reshiram and Zekrom movies is they're literally the black and white. One focuses on Reshiram, the other focuses on Zekrom, but nothing else changes. It's literally just those two swap places.
That's pretty cool.
It's literally basically them being like poking fun at the fact that, oh yeah, we just literally do this for the games. It's just whoop.
Yeah.
And then I remember, obviously, if we're talking about like what the best Pokemon movies were, it's probably 2000, the original Mewtwo, and probably Entei is probably top 3 that I would say just overall for everyone.
The Darkrai movie I really liked.
That too, yeah. Darkrai definitely be up there. Mostly 2000 and Pokemon, the first Pokemon movie, are really high the fuck up there because Jesus Christ, they're really good. Like, they kind of put a huge bar for Pokemon movies,
Oh yeah.
especially 2000.
Yeah. And then Pikachu I Choose You came out.
Yep.
And
Well, and it's like you can play Lugia's song and most people will tell you they've heard it somewhere.
yeah, probably. We'll probably play a Racion Sace from the Darkrai movie, and people will probably have heard it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think the one movie I remember having a good laugh at was the Hoopa movie because that was just like a fever dream. It's like, what if we took a Pokemon movie but just made it a battle royale type thing?
Yeah.
Of just let's have legendaries fight each other because why not?
And make one of them shiny.
Oh yeah, wasn't it Rayquaza or something? Was
Yeah.
shiny or some shit?
Rayquaza was a shiny for some reason. It's like, what? Oh, okay, sure.
Also, God literally comes down and just is like, okay, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like Arceus is in that movie, and it's just like, okay, sure, we're just throwing God in here at this point.
Yeah. Another one that I watched fairly recently. So it's called Rent a Girlfriend.
I've heard of it. A friend of mine's talked about it.
So me and Johnny and a couple of other people in our different chat, we were making fun of the show solely for the name of the show,
Right.
and also the fact that the main character's name is Kazuya.
That's fucking funny.
So that was the only thing I had to go off of before actually watching the anime. And then
Right.
I watched it like the literally like 2 days ago, and it's really good.
It's funny what like I've done that before where I'll just shit on a show really bad, not knowing anything, actually watch it and just be like, damn, I was wrong. It's
it's
just like
it's also not what I expected with the title.
yeah, it's another show where the title does not do the show justice.
Because I thought it was about the dude renting multiple different girlfriends uh throughout the series, and then hijinks
Yeah,
ensue.
yeah.
But it's mainly about the relationship between the Kazuya and just the first actual girlfriend that he rents.
Huh. I'm sure like that definitely like is one of those shows where it's like, yeah, it could go in multiple directions.
Yeah, because and the reason why it's only one girlfriend that he rents is because like uh is because like some weird circumstances happened with him, her, and both of their grandmothers. So they have to like fake an entire relationship.
Oh god.
Yeah. So
That's great.
yeah. So like so like while on a date with while on a rented date with the girl, his grandmother ends up at the hospital because she just passed out. Um,
Right?
and so like uh because of that he had to go to the hospital, but he didn't really want to leave her there just in the middle of the city, so she comes along with him,
Okay.
ends up meeting his parents and his grandmother, and because he was basically to his family a social outcast, uh they were like super surprised. They're just like, oh my god, he finally has a girlfriend, but and stuff like that. And
Right. They're like super stoked and stuff.
yeah, and then turns out the girl's grandmother is also in that hospital and is friends with the boy's grandmother.
Oh god.
So so there's like, oh yeah, uh our grandchildren are dating. That's really cool. Maybe we'll become sisters. And yeah, so much like stupid stuff happens. But like the main reason, but the only reason he's even with the girl is because his ex broke up with him, and
Of course.
he was just desperate.
Yeah, because desperation is fun.
Yeah. So like so yeah, they had to fake an entire like they have to fake an entire relationship for like about a year.
And the sad thing is there's a lot of real counterparts to that.
Yeah. And also one of the one of the funny things about this show particularly is that it doesn't take place in a high school. The characters are actually adults,
Well then.
which is very
That's
different
hilarious. Oh yeah, very, very different.
because literally every single other like romance anime that I've seen takes place during a high school.
Yeah, most of the ones I've seen are like that too.
And through that, I learned that Japanese high school is only 3 years.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and also their break structure is and and a year advancement structure. It's very different from ours.
Oh yeah.
I still don't understand it.
I mean, let's be fair. There is a lot of different ways schools are run in different countries.
Yeah, but most of the structures within those within those uh, uh curriculum and schooling system is that like it's like uh it's like you start around like late summer early fall uh up to winter, have a winter break, and then do spring, and then summer break, which is like minimum like 2 months.
Yeah. Some. Yeah.
Yeah, that's with most countries. Japan doesn't do that.
Yeah. I think they have it very different.
Yeah, because they start school in April,
Okay.
and then and then they have spring break, they have summer break, they have winter break, uh, and then and then winter turns into spring, uh, and then that I think that is like a is like a spring is their spring break,
I
and
think
then
so.
school happens again. They only have like 3 weeks of vacation for the school transition or something like that. It's really weird, but yeah,
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I really I don't fully understand it, but it's such a weird system.
Yeah. That isn't super surprising because, like, for us, that seems really confusing.
Yeah,
Um, but like, I'm sure for people in Japan, other countries, and how their school systems works are probably really confusing. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, like even I mean, like to us, the UK school system is very confusing.
true.
Also because what we have used to be the old UK system, and then they changed the whole system,
Yeah.
and because of that, a lot of the more recent colonies, uh, recently independent colonies, like within the past like 100 years or so, they adopted they had to adopt the new uh, uh, new UK school system, and because of that, whenever whenever my parents talk to my cousins or whatever back in Pakistan,
Right.
and they talk about school and stuff like that, they're just like, oh, I passed my O levels, I passed my A levels. They're super confused
Yeah.
because their school system is the way that our school system is, or was, and then coming here, and then after so long, they're just like, I don't understand what the school system is now. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And my mother tells me this, and I had to explain to her, yeah, it's the new UK school system
Yeah.
that that was adopted after uh, 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 that was adopted like within the past 100 years or so. She's like, oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah. Also, it was fun turning my computer on today and then seeing, hey, your computer updated. Do all this random shit. I'm like, fuck off, Microsoft. Like, every other day they have an update.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of computer updates, uh, I have a new computer.
Do you?
Yeah. This is not for personal use. This is for church specifically.
Okay.
But I have 3 computers in my room now.
I still have the same one. Well,
Yeah.
it's different than the one you remember me having, but it's still the same one that I've been always on.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping to either late this year or next year finally sit down and make myself or build myself a computer.
Yeah. I think
I was talking to my
it
I was talking
shouldn't
to my
cost too
stepdad about
much.
it. Well, I was talking to my stepdad, and we're thinking if I want to go high end, I'm going to be looking at more like close to
3 to 4 thousand.
1,500. Yes, it's 3 to 4,000. But I'm thinking ballparking around at the highest I want to spend is maybe 13, 1,400, which I think is perfectly reasonable.
That's reasonable.
That's still like good parts and stuff, but not really going too cheap.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like, obviously you
oh,
don't really need my help with that because you have your stepdad. But yeah, even if you do end up needing help, I can help with that because like
Oh, let's hope when I go to hook my Elgato up to it that it fucking works this time.
because I don't think we've talked about the infamous Elgato problem me and him have gone through twice now.
yeah.
So I have an Elgato, and I was gonna use it to record Switch games and live stream myself playing Switch stuff. Because if I want to live stream me playing PlayStation, I can just do it from the console. Um, but if I want to actually have it look nice, I need the Elgato.
Yeah.
And me and Ivan got it to work before.
Somehow.
Yeah, and then we went to go do it again, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. Like, we were getting all the video and everything, but we couldn't get any audio, so we're just assuming my computer is just stupid.
Yeah.
Even though we had done it with this computer before, and it was fine.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know. I think Elgato like just updated its system or whatever.
oh, more than likely. But yeah, it's still no less annoying.
But yeah. So yeah. Now I have 3 laptops in my room that I like actively use. Because like
Right.
first I had my work laptop, which is like super down spec and just for work.
Right.
And okay, this thing is like losing battery, I think. And then I have like the laptop that I'm currently using,
Yeah.
to record and everything.
Right.
And then recently we bought this, and this was actually really cheap, but super powerful. In terms of like
Right.
what it offers,
Okay.
because like this was only like $750.
Okay.
And it's got like a 3060 in it. It's got 4K graphics. It's got an i7 motherboard.
That's
Or,
not bad at all.
or no, not i7, Ryzen 7.
That's still not bad.
No, that's equivalent to an i9.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah, it's better than an i7.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's a powerful computer, but I don't use it for games or anything.
Right.
Because I bought it just for streaming and recording and church use.
Gotcha. Not for your gaming.
Yeah, because one my main computer works fine for that. Really, all I play is Melee. I don't
You're
need
not
that.
me over here who's trying to play stuff like Final Fantasy 14 on their computer, which
Oh boy, I found that does not work on this computer. 14 is an old game, but it's a struggle to run it on this.
I need to change the battery on this. Yeah,
Like, I can run WoW on my computer, but I cannot run 14, which is hilarious to me. But I think they're optimized differently for how their graphics are, so
That's because WoW is an older game.
This is true.
But yeah, like I can run a decent amount of things on this computer. Like I can run I can run CS2 pretty well. Uh, I can run GTA 5 really well. I can run um uh what's it called? I can run Street Fighter 6 really well.
Yeah, so it's definitely better than my computer. That's a for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I bought a pretty spec'd up computer.
Right.
Although the graphics and the processor are a little bit behind. Um,
Yeah.
Specifically now because I have a I have a 10 series graphics card, and the 40 series came out like 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I'm going to definitely be looking forward to is Cyber Monday. I'm going to definitely be looking for computer parts Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to see if I can at least get a decent head start on building my computer. I'm hoping I can find, I think it's the graphics card that tends to be the more expensive thing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can find a decent graphics card on sale. I'm not looking for something super duper cheap, but like at least something that's like it's really good for the price.
Yeah. I suggest looking into AMD.
Yeah.
Because AMD tends to be really cheap. In comparison. Uh, and also it just tends to be a little bit more powerful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just gotta remember to actually save some paychecks, especially coming into November. And if I'm saving correctly, I should easily be able to have a full built computer by Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully.
and speaking of Christmas, um, hopefully, it won't be too long till the next episode. It won't be a month.
Yeah.
But my birthday is coming up in December.
Oh yeah. Was it 19th, right?
13th.
13th.
The 13th of December. I'm hoping to have my computer built before then, as like a nice birthday gift to myself. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Because if things don't go to plan how I'm hoping they go to plan this year for my birthday, I'll at least have my computer. Because it sounds like this year for my birthday, I'm going to be going to out of state to go see a friend of mine.
All right.
They offered to pay for my plane tickets to come see them, and I'm like, fuck it. If you're offering to pay and I can just stay at your place, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, might as well.
Because they're like, well, because I don't have a lot of friends out here in Iowa.
Yeah, I know.
It's Iowa.
Yeah.
I've got maybe 3 or 4 friends out here that I actually like could hang out with.
Yeah.
But then again, it's also Iowa. There's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
Like even when you were out here, there was like it was mostly just us playing video games because what else were we gonna fucking do?
Yeah, what else were literally the next day we drove to Chicago.
Yeah. Which I think my stepdad was very happy to hear. He's like, "Oh, I don't have to drive to Chicago? Cool." Like I don't think it's not that it's bad driving to Chicago, it's driving there and then going back for one person.
Yeah.
So
whereas for me, I was literally driving to Chicago anyway, so it just worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. I know if we had had more time, I know there was a couple shops you wanted to go to.
Yeah.
I think you ended up still going to them, but I couldn't because I had to catch my flight.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then yeah, I'm hoping to have the computer built because I'm sorry, I love my computer. I'd like to have a computer that could run good shit. I want to be able to play more games on my computer because I'll be honest, there are so many games I've wanted to play or I've wanted to mod that I can't because my computer is a piece of shit.
Mm.
Like if it's Minecraft or Terraria, fine, I can easily do that.
Yeah,
But then
because they're not resource intensive games.
Minecraft can get really resource intensive depending on the mods you get.
That's very true.
You can turn Minecraft into like a very, very like motherboard killing game if you're not careful.
Oh yeah, especially
I've
with
heard
shaders.
Yeah, you start running the right shaders, you can actually hear computers just straight up die from it.
Mm-hmm.
Even people that have like really, really good computers are still like, yeah, no.
Because you don't need those kind of shaders.
Yeah.
They're just there to be like
To show off. Like I usually would just get a basic shaders pack that like gives decent shadows but isn't gonna kill your game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wanted to play. There's a couple of games I've wanted to play modded that are a little more resource intensive, like Elden Ring.
Mm.
And to do that, I would need a better computer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because Elden Ring's just a fucking ton of fun, but it's a game I can't bring myself to play more than like 2 or 3 times because fuck, it's long.
Yeah.
Not even getting into Baldur's Gate.
Oh my God, Baldur's Gate. I mean, I can run Baldur's Gate at 60. So.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I am only at Act 2, maybe halfway through Act 2. And I've been playing it for like 70 hours. And my brother, he's put in triple the time and he's still in Act 3.
Damn.
I think I've only heard people are just recently finally hitting like the different endings.
Yeah.
And it's just like, god damn.
Oh, speaking of time sync games, I recently started playing Animal Crossing.
Oh god. Yeah. Which one?
The new one, and New Horizons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't know another Animal Crossing game came out.
Well, since New Horizons, there hasn't been one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, New Horizons came out I think like 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Wasn't it right before the pandemic?
Maybe, I don't know.
I remember there was an Animal Crossing game that came out that just completely skyrocketed Switch sales.
Yeah, that was New Horizons.
Yeah, because I have it.
Ah.
Because everybody and their fucking mother during the pandemic had New Horizons because it's like it's a good game to kill time and not think about the fact that you're cooped up inside because of fucking COVID.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of, I have a sick story from work that I'll share in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I have the I have the Animal Crossing Edition Switch. I have an Animal Crossing themed Switch case right here.
Right. Yeah, I think out of our friend group, I think you're the one that really likes Animal Crossing the most. I think.
I'm the only one that. Well, I'm really the only one that plays it.
Consistently anymore? Yeah, because I used to play it a lot.
Ah. Okay.
At least her New Horizons.
Yeah. So far,
like,
I think I have like 20 hours in the game or something like that.
Yeah. That's like I think with Pikmin, I think I'm the only one that's actually put a solid amount of time into Pikmin.
I need to put a solid amount of hours into Pikmin.
Well, now that all 4 games are on Switch, I plan on buying all 4 of them and then just playing all.
Yeah, I mean, like the only one that like I actually own, and I've mentioned this before on the podcast, is 3, and I have it on the Wii U, just like on the shelf up here.
I've been wanting to play Wii U games again, but it's like if I want to play Wii U games, I'm gonna have to probably homebrew it.
Also, get a Wii U.
Yeah, that too. Because I don't know what happened to my original Wii U or my brother's Wii U, but it just stopped charging. The gamepad just straight up stopped charging.
Dude, the gamepad.
We're pretty sure everything else is fine with the system. It's just the charging port. And we tried to take it into Comics and Games, and they had no idea what to fucking do. So we're like, "You guys are great help, thanks."
Just replace the
They're like,
motherboard.
yeah, it was like, okay, so much for being a good game store. I think at one point, I think you or Johnny was just like, just go to the other one. Like I think it was Brooklyn Games or something.
Yeah.
And I never got around to it because I didn't feel like lugging around that Wii U. So, you know, I never got around to fixing it. I think we still have it.
Hmm.
I think it's actually I think it's in that closet right there.
Oh, that's a
I think
closet?
it's in. Yeah, that's a closet.
I thought that was the exit door.
No, my exit door is over here.
I don't know the layout of your room. I haven't actually been to your room.
I've also changed the layout.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's also a mess in here. I clean at some point, but that's not the point. Yeah, that's a closet. I'm pretty sure the Wii U is in there. I'm pretty sure. Like we never got rid of it.
Like my Wii U is like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking myself in the butt for not giving you my 3DS to get it repaired.
I know. Yeah.
Because we didn't even think about it, and we were literally playing Smash Bros. And I don't know how that didn't kick into my head. Oh, maybe have Ivan fix your 3DS.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Speaking of console stuff, I don't know if you noticed, but my I updated the the status on my Discord.
Oh yeah, your controller account.
Yeah, I finally did like an official controller account.
Yeah, I saw you're up to 114.
I miscounted 115 because I forgot to count the steering wheel.
Oh god.
So yeah, I'll put the picture like right here somewhere. But yeah, I have 115 controllers.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about it. So my brother's birthday is coming up this weekend, and he just got his presents today from our parents. And he got a amplifier for his guitar.
Oh, cool.
He's a huge instrument person right now. He's been playing guitar, ukulele. He plays.
I think he plays a little bit of piano. At least he's trying.
Yes, no, he's actually pretty good at piano now.
Oh, okay.
He actually has a full electric keyboard.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
He also plays trumpet, and bass.
Okay.
Like this man is like trying to become his own one-man band over here. Like I've told him, I'm like, if it wasn't for how loud they could be, I've thought about getting into drums. But it's like, at the times I'm awake, no, I'm not practicing drums.
I mean, like both me and my brother are drummers, so yeah.
And then the other present he got was a microphone. And from what I saw, it's like one similar to yours. It's a really nice one.
Ah.
So I was telling him, I'm like, that's super ironic. I'm about to record an episode for our podcast. And he kind of just laughed at me. I don't think he caught the hint of me being like,
yeah. He did get the hint of, can I borrow that?
Yeah. But it is his birthday present.
Yeah, it's understandable.
And then, yeah. So it's really cool to see those because it's like, cool. That means he can actually start doing recordings. He can start getting really into this whole music stuff.
Now he just needs like a good headphones.
Oh yeah.
And
he has really good headphones, like similar to these, but instead of having the mic, they're just the headphones.
Yeah.
Or even you could just get these and then just keep your headset muted at all times.
Yeah. I mean, like, those are what are those, Sonys?
These are the Sony PDP 40s, if I remember right. These are really nice headphones. They're really comfortable and they have good sound quality.
Yeah, but they're not good for like audio work.
No, for just like what we're doing and then video games, they're really good.
Yeah, same thing with these. I have the SteelSeries Arctis ones.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do actual audio work, you need stuff that's like really good at giving you sound.
Yes, something from like like Audio Technica or Sennheiser or something like that.
Basically, a headset you're probably gonna be spending a pretty penny on.
Yeah, I'm like obviously I do have a pair of like actual like audio file headphones and whatnot, but I don't use them for anything because I don't need them.
Yeah. But it's crazy to me that how much my brother has like gotten into such a hobby and he's really just nailing into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I just play video games and fucking work. Like I don't really have a hobby. My
I'm
fucking
like video
hobby
games. Video games are a hobby.
this is true. But no, like for the thing I've been doing is I've just been collecting these fucking cups. I have fucking 4 of them.
The G Fuel cups or gamer
Ye-
subs.
yes, I have this one, and then this one.
Is that a
And then I
Rangaroo?
have this one?
Yeah. What
No,
what is?
it's Shy Lily,
Oh, okay.
VTuber.
Oh, I don't know. At a distance, it looked like a Rangaroo for some reason.
That'd be awesome if they did Pokemon once.
That's why I was confused. I'm just like, what?
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know why that looked like you threw your cat.
That's exactly what I did.
Oh, okay. I thought you threw like a shirt or something. I was like,
He
did he
started
just
biting.
throw Blake?
He did. Yeah, she started like she's doing this.
Okay.
So it's why I'm actually wearing a sweatshirt right now is to stop her from biting me.
Uh,
Because then I can just go like this, and then she can't really get through it.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I could probably recommend your brother some more like
Right.
audio stuff because like because like I work with that kind of stuff and
Oh, absolutely.
yeah like I have like all the professional equipment and whatnot so like so like I know about that kind of a space. I know what's good. I know what's I know what's cheap and whatnot.
right. Um, no, because I know for stuff I've been wanting to get into, I've been trying to do more art lately, and I've even thought about picking up, like, doing and really focusing on it. That was like right in front of my face. Like, Jesus. Um, yeah, mostly I've been focusing on art. I even got a friend of mine even bought me a drawing tablet. So
Oh, is that a Wacom or is it just like a generic drawing tablet?
it's a Wacom.
Oh, cool.
It's taken a minute for me to get used to it because it's not on a screen, so it's taken a minute for me to get used to it.
Yeah, I do intend to do some drawing stuff, and this
Yeah.
my work laptop is actually really good for that because of the fact that it's a 2-in-1, so
Yeah.
it opens up and has a
See, and that's
screen.
something I'd really like is if I ever get a laptop again, I'm gonna get something like that for drawing purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it'll be really nice. Because then I can see what I'm drawing and where my cursor is at perfectly.
Yeah,
Well, perfectly.
as good as you can
perfect
get
as
it, essentially.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, like one thing that I really don't like when it comes to drawing on this is that it's too glossy of a screen.
Oh, it doesn't have like
A matte
resistance
finish.
or yeah.
If it had like a matte finish, the way that my laptop does, like the one that I'm currently using, and also the church laptop does, then it would feel a lot better to draw on this thing.
Yeah.
Also, I need a stylus.
Yeah. Um. The other thing, and to bring this up because I did mention it earlier, so work stuff. So the other day, it was like last week Thursday, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I come in. No, it was last week Tuesday. I come into work and I notice one of my managers is wearing a face mask, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I was like, and they sounded like shit. And I'm like, and they're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I have the flu, but I can't skip work. And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, I was like half a second away from just leaving. Because I'm like, I'm not about to work with someone that has the fucking flu in a work environment, let alone a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, just go fucking home. And they're like, I can't because there's no one to cover my shift. And I'm like, that's not your fucking problem.
Yeah.
If they, like, you have the flu. If someone calls the health inspector, you're screwed. You're fired and probably going to court.
Yeah, that's one of the sad parts about the American society and the American workforce is that if you're sick, you still have an obligation to come into work.
Yeah. Even though, by doing that obligation, 9 times out of 10, you're breaking multiple.
Health and safety
legislation.
laws.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. And it's like, and then she's like, well, what if they fire me? I'm like, then you sue them. Like, if they fire you because you didn't come into work because you have the flu, you sue them. Like,
Yeah.
because you have the fucking flu.
Yeah.
And if they're being like, oh, we're going to fire you because you didn't come into work.
That's wrongful
because you had the flu,
termination.
That's wrongful termination. And you could probably get a double whammy on that because they're trying to force someone that's sick to work in a restaurant environment where that could get many more people sick.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it a little more in an office environment where you're not face to face with customers or if you work from home.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a restaurant where you're making food and prepping food, if you're sick, don't fucking come into work. Like, I'm sorry. And she even threw up at work. And I was just like, what the? Go home. Like, if I was the manager, I would have just said, go the fuck home. I don't care. Because that really pissed me off. I was really close to actually calling either our boss, our big boss, or literally calling the health department. Being like, no. Because that really pisses me off when people just put customers in that much risk.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to not have worked in the food industry, but like,
So
working when sick in general is just yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I like the food industry. I really do. I don't hate working the food industry. There are people in the food industry that don't understand how really, really important it is to make sure you're watching your health.
Yeah, it's mostly like the boomer generation that's and like older customers that are just
Yeah.
like very uh what's the word, just mean towards food service.
Well,
Disrespectful.
their entire thing
there
is,
we go. That's
disrespectful. Because their whole thing is like, they make the argument, oh, people shouldn't get paid a lot for flipping burgers. Then they bitch when no one wants to work those jobs, and they're like, oh, well, why is anyone working this job? Because you fought for them to get paid like shit.
yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, during COVID, everyone's like, oh, why is no one working in these restaurants? Because they're closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants have actually gone bankrupt because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had no way of supporting themselves. Other than it was either you had delivery and then you could support yourself, or you didn't have delivery and you went out of business.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened here in Iowa. Is we had about 7 businesses in this town alone just gone because they didn't have delivery.
Yeah, and out there it's very difficult to even do something like that and have constant revenue and whatnot because of how middle of nowhere you are.
Oh, I told one of my old coworkers from when I used to work at Pizza Hut here, if we had delivery, we probably would still be in business. Because there is such a demand for pizza delivery out here because there is like little to none.
Yeah.
We have one place that does delivery here in town, and they charge an arm and a leg. Like, I've gotten they have this thing called a grilled cheeseburger. It is the most unhealthy thing. It is take 2 grilled cheese sandwiches and put a quarter pounder of meat in between it.
Oh my god.
So it's a cheeseburger, but the buns are grilled cheese.
Yeah.
It is as unhealthy as it sounds, but it's really fucking good. Like, it is literally walking like heart attack. But
I know what that's like.
definitely, yeah. But then I usually get that mac and cheese bites and then a drink. With the delivery fee, it's like $40.
Yeah, it tends to cost about that much even over here.
Yeah.
But like because of the fact that it's a city and a
Yeah.
pretty big city, uh, a lot of restaurants are able to have constant revenue
Oh yeah.
if they have delivery.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's constant people actually going to the store
Yeah.
or a
Well, you
restaurant.
guys also have Uber Eats, and stuff like that out there.
Yeah,
Whereas out here, we're starting to get DoorDash, but only really a few places here actually,
offer it.
will. Yeah. So like McDonald's, where I work, we have DoorDash.
Mhm.
Well, we have maybe one person that's consistently a driver out here. So this one person is like holding DoorDash up to keep them here. So it's definitely something I wish wasn't as much of a struggle, and I look forward to moving to probably a more city-like place, but not nearly as much like Chicago or New York.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when it comes to delivery and McDonald's, I prefer to just order on the app and then go to McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, I don't order delivery from there because I work there. I can get 50% off.
Right.
It's I can pay what I should be paying for McDonald's normally with my employee discount instead of having to pay the egregious price that they have it at now.
Yeah, $3 for a hash brown. Oh my god.
Yeah. My breakfast at McDonald's, which is 2 hash browns, a sausage McGriddle, add cheese, and an iced coffee, is like $15. Whereas it's like $10 in food worth.
What my breakfast used to be whenever I went to McDonald's during when I was traveling for work, uh I used to get I used to get 4 hash browns.
That's a lot of hash browns.
Yeah, 4 hash browns, sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle, and a large Sprite.
Okay.
That was like $20.
Yeah, mostly on those hash browns.
Mostly, yeah, because it's $12 for hash browns.
And let's not even talk about the fact that McDonald's is like, oh yeah, we're not going to do the $1 soda anymore.
No, they're still doing that. Really?
Out here for a large soda, it's $1.92. It's almost $2 for a large soda now.
That's at least that's not bad, to be honest.
That's not terrible, but it's not the 107 it was like literally 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think over here they're still doing the dollar sodas.
They might be.
Yeah, I remember back when I was working for MTA doing sanitation, they had just introduced the dollar any size soda, and and I was, and we were about to get lunch, and my supervisor he's like, hey, get me like a small. I don't how much is that? I'm just like, it's $1. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, I can get you a large if you want. He's like, how much is that? I was like, $1. He's like, oh yeah, get me a large.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, just give me a fucking large at that point. Like, it's like, what the fuck? I like how there's just a fucking ray of sun on my face.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's because the sun is starting to like set, or not really set, but it's moving, and it's perfectly in line with my blind, so that it's hitting me, and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's been long enough that it moved from your shoulder to your face.
Yeah, I think originally it was like here, and it's just, or it was either it was on this shoulder, and now it's just. So, yeah, I kind of just chose to ignore it.
Yeah, that I also noticed that you're just ignoring the sun.
In most, and there's a lot of times that it's straight in my eye. Like, um,
Yeah, I'm I'm lucky enough that like my windows is like perpendicular.
yeah, my window is just like right there. So it's kind of like unfortunate, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah, one new topic, sort of in terms of video games. Last episode we talked about the fact that we wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat,
yes,
but I still have yet to buy it and actually play
I
it.
have, I have bought it and played it. I've gone through the entirety of the story. I think I said this last time too. Um, did I? I don't remember if last episode came out before or after MK1's release.
I think it came out after.
It might have. But I to reiterate, I have played it. I have played the story. I've played a little bit of fighting against a friend of mine, and it's a fun game. I just haven't put enough time into it to really give a really hard review on it.
Yeah,
Like
I'm.
I've put more time into Street Fighter 6 and than I have MK1.
Hmm. I'm still currently looking for work, and I am working on that. Uh, pun not intended. Uh, I do actually have an interview on Monday.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I I applied for Amazon delivery.
Yeah, work for good old Jeff Bezos.
I might as well, because it pays a decent amount, and also my friend Peter, the one that took me to Comic Con, like he works at Amazon. He works in the warehouse though, because he doesn't really have a license. But because I have experience driving around all over the place for constant hours and whatnot, it's easy for me. It's not a difficult thing for me to do.
And you wouldn't probably be sleeping in a truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you wouldn't be doing that again.
yeah,
So, um, and there's probably worse jobs you could do.
yeah. But yeah, Amazon is probably my best bet at this point.
Which is really sad to say.
Yeah, with
Like when
with
I was
my skill set, yeah,
Because when I was looking for work, I saw there was a bunch of Amazon warehouse jobs, and I'm like, it's almost summer. I don't want a warehouse job.
Because I've heard about the working conditions for some of the Amazon warehouses.
yeah,
So yeah, definitely fuck that. So, also we're well over an hour.
yeah. We're almost at the 90-minute mark.
Which is, I think, usually when we start wrapping up.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
trying to think
Also,
if there's
we were about to mention it, but then I continued talking about an anime. Mario Wonder came out
yes.
today. As of this recording.
So you'll know what day we recorded this.
Yeah. Neither of us have played it yet.
I have no interest in it. So.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I have an interest in playing Mario Wonder, because like it actually looks really good, and
Right.
and also like the aesthetic of the game is, I really like the aesthetic that it's going for,
Right.
especially with the like the choppy animations.
Yeah,
I really like the choppy animations.
Yeah.
It looks really good, and
I won't
it
say
works
it looks
well.
bad. It's just not my style.
I get it. Yeah,
Also, also it's a game you get to play as Daisy.
yeah.
So that's an immediate win for you.
Yeah, like my Discord icon has been Drill Daisy for like the past like 2 months.
Um, Granted, out of the Mario princesses, probably my favorite is Rosalina, not to follow in certain somebody.
Yeah,
And then probably Daisy.
yeah,
Like,
I love Daisy. She's such
I
a
just think Peach is overrated.
yeah.
Like that was like yeah, Rosalina is pretty overrated, but like she's not Peach overrated.
Yeah.
So I would say overall Daisy's probably the best one out of the, not including Pauline.
She's not really princess anymore. She's a mayor.
Yeah. Odyssey kind of changed her role.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting any princesses. I don't think I am. Not for Mario anyway.
Yeah, because the other like female characters are like the Koopas, uh, some of the DK girls, like Dixie and Candy, uh, Toadette, and the sprites or whatever.
Yeah.
Or pixies, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I swear, I don't know. I just feel like I'm forgetting one.
No, I'm like, yeah, I think there's just 4.
I think so too.
Yeah, yeah. Peach, Daisy, Pauline, Rosalina.
Oh, I'm probably thinking of the Wario games, where there are some unique characters for that.
Right, like Ashley, and
Yeah.
that's all I know. I've never played any of the Wario games or any of the WarioWare games, and I choose not to.
The last Wario game I played was Wario Land Shake It.
Mm.
It's not a bad game at all for being a Wii game, but that being said, there's a lot of really good Wii games.
Oh yeah.
So, and there are equally some bad games.
Oh yeah. Like a library of arranging in like good and bad Wii games up here.
Yeah, and depending on who you talk to, Brawl can fall into one of those categories.
Yeah, but Brawl is a very special situation.
Brawl is a very special child that we'll leave in the corner.
Because the thing with Brawl is that it's not a bad game overall. It's a lot of fun. It is very good for what it is. But in terms of Smash, it's not good.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help. It's coming off of the back of Melee.
Yeah.
Which, is arguably one of the best Smash games by the community.
Yeah.
And then the next game, Smash 4, kind of knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Leaving Brawl in the middle as like the ugly child.
I'm like, there were still a lot of people that preferred Brawl solely for the characters.
Absolutely. And then Smash Ultimate came out and was just like, hey, all the reasons you guys like Brawl, here you go.
There were still people who preferred Brawl.
Well, let's also be fair. Project M exists, which has made Brawl more popular.
Yeah, but Project M is kind of. I mean, like, I love Project M, and
it definitely fixes a lot of the problems with.
Yeah.
It brings new problems, but it also fixes a lot of the problems.
It doesn't really bring any new problems. In terms of like Nintendo, it brings a lot of new problems.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah. But in terms of like the actual game, it fixes like everything.
A lot more problems than it breaks.
Yeah, and
let's be fair. Smash modding has existed since Brawl. I think Brawl is what started it.
Yeah, that's what majorly started it. Because there probably was some stuff here and there. I think I believe 20XX came out before PM. I'm not too sure.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But then you have popular mods for Smash 4, like literally Smash 4. You have the Trash mod, you have Turbo mod, like.
Yeah, you have Chaos and
which, like you've brought up on the show before, you
Yeah,
have played one of them.
yeah.
Um,
I'm like I've played all of them.
your camera broke again.
I know.
It is not liking you today.
No, it just keeps disconnecting. Why does it? Why did it disconnect again?
Oh God. I think it's a good thing we're getting close to the end.
Yeah.
So, no, but yeah, like I know for Smash mods that I've personally wanted to play. I've wanted to try out the Turbo mod just because silly shenanigans with that.
Yeah.
Um, Chaos mod I've heard was really hilarious. Some of the stuff you could do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've also been updated for Smash Ultimate for just more chaos.
I think Chaos does have a Smash 4 or Smash Ultimate version. Not 100% sure. I think they're working on it though.
Yeah, it's one of those things that they have to be careful what they do because it is Nintendo,
Yeah.
and we all know how Daddy Nintendo does not like people modding. Like they kind of give Sony a run for their money on who hates mods more.
Yeah.
Like, because either one of them, if you're caught modding, your system is in your account are basically bricked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like even if you got a new console, your account's not getting recovered. So,
Yeah.
Granted, it's much, much harder to mod on PS5, like damn near impossible.
Yeah, and also there's not really much need for it at this point.
That too. There's not really a point.
Yeah.
Granted, more games are coming out that just have integrated mod capabilities or just stuff like that. So I'm hoping that eventually it just becomes normal to allow a community browser for just mods.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you're making a game for your customers, and if it makes you more money them modding it, you're still making money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, are they messing with your stuff and whatnot? Yeah, but at the end of the day, if more people are buying your game for those mods, you're making more money than the people that are making the mods. Because the people making the mods are doing it for free 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never understood the hate for mods. Like, I get it. There are some mods that definitely push too far into a certain subset of people. But, that's with any community.
Yeah.
But I know eventually I would like to play some modded Smash, but I'm waiting until either I get a second Switch that I can put a my account on.
Yeah, I just need to get my second
Because I'm sorry,
Switch.
I'm not modding the Switch because if it gets bricked, I'm fucked for Nintendo games until their next console.
Yeah, that's why I'm hesitant on modding my Switch. I mean, granted, I do have my light, so I have this as an option potentially.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of getting a PS Vita homebrew. I actually have to get a hold of my friend who's doing that for me.
That's actually a lot easier. Or well, not. I think doing a homebrew on the Vita is actually a lot easier than you think.
Oh, yeah, but I also just have my friend doing it because then it's something he's been wanting to do for me.
Right.
And then I also want to homebrew a 3DS at some point, which I know that can kind of be a pain in the ass.
It can, and I know that from experience because I mentioned it last episode. The BS that I went through modding this. Although when it comes to when it comes to modding the older systems, it's a little bit more difficult because you need to own a copy of a certain game or something like that in order to actually properly mod it.
I know, like, if you get your hands on one for the DS, you can just make a cartridge that literally has like so many different games on it.
The R4.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually new R4s out.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, yeah. There's like the R4 Gold or something like that.
Yeah. One thing I've wanted to do is to get a custom plate Game Boy Advanced or a Game Boy, and because I think they're really cool, and
Yeah,
being able to own a custom Game Boy, and they're not hard to do at all. You could even make them yourself pretty easily.
yeah,
You basically just need two, or a applicable screen, and then a 3D printer,
yeah,
and then obviously the tech.
yeah. I'm like, I have a, I have a Game Boy Color that I do intend to do a light mod on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really want to I don't really want to do a full shell swap for it, but what I do plan on doing is actually getting um a DS Lite and doing a Game Boy Macro mod on there.
Okay. Yeah, I know if I did a DS mod for
So,
just like custom stuff on it, it would probably be a Final Fantasy one.
mm,
Just because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, as the Buster Sword earlier proved.
yeah,
Like I've even considered for my PS5 getting a custom, or at least doing some shell work on the case to have it be Final Fantasy. Because I think it'd be really cool to have the left side have like 1 through 6 on it, or something, or just like have the Final Fantasy games on each side, and just like have it as an homage to Final Fantasy in general.
yeah,
Because I own most of the Final Fantasy games. Um, and just I'm a huge Final Fantasy nerd.
yeah. I know. I own like two.
You're not.
In the same boat as I am, where it comes to Final Fantasy, of I just die hard for the series, whereas you're just like it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very passive when it comes to Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Um, and actually, just a little while ago, I started playing Spotify in my headset to have like something in the background lit for music, and it's very quiet. But um, I actually had Final Fantasy majorly playing because I was sitting here and I'm like, there was a lot of quietness, and it's like sometimes that causes us like me to lose my train of thought. So having something just else that I can keep reminding me of something, like
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like usually when I'm playing music and playing like Melee or like
right,
something on the 64, uh, uh, I usually either have like a YouTube video. Recently, I've just had anime going in the background, or I'm listening to like like rock and metal and whatnot.
yeah. I usually when I'm listening to actual music and not like video game OSTs, it's usually rock
Mm-hmm.
or stuff along that genre.
Yeah, the only time I really like actively listen to like OSTs is if I'm in tournament.
That's fair. I don't know. There's some OSTs I listen to. Like lately, I've been on a huge Sonic OST binge of just I have a lot of Spotify songs that are just Sonic songs.
I think Sonic OSTs are pretty good.
Well, some of them I have are like from as early as Sonic 2.
Mm.
I think the most recent one I have is from Sonic Mania.
Mm.
Um, well, like obviously I have some of the very very popular songs like Sonic Heroes, Live and Learn, and like your very popular songs.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of, especially from the Sonic Adventure series of games, a lot of those songs are like people can hear like the first half beat of it and they know it.
Yeah, like the Sonic 06 theme is actually really good.
That's the funny thing is everyone likes to like give Sonic 06 shit, and it's just like the OST was actually really fucking good.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about the game.
Like I see the direction they were going in with Sonic 06, but it was just like, yikes.
You want to know one game that has a weirdly bopping soundtrack?
What?
Pictionary for the NES.
I think I remember. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Some of the games that have really good OSTs are not games you would think they'd have really good OSTs.
Yeah. Like I was watching a video. I forgot what the video was about or who it was by. Uh, but like yeah, they were talking about like yeah, it's weird how some of the like the most random games have like the most insane soundtracks. Like how Pictionary for the NES has the most insane soundtrack. Or saying OST, and then they play the Pictionary OST. I'm just like, why is that so good?
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking funny. Um, a game I've actually been meaning to get back around to, and my friend reminded me that of its existence, and especially with it sequel coming up soon, is Hollow Knight.
Mm.
I have not beaten Hollow Knight yet, and my friend keeps like, they're like, you know, with Sony being really weird with their servers right now, it might be a good time to sit down and play Hollow Knight. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, especially with Silk Song at some point supposed to be coming out. So I've been sitting down and I'm playing more Hollow Knight, and it's a definitely fun game. It's very difficult getting used to the controls because it does ask for a different kind of mindset of how to approach it. So
Yeah. I mean, like that is a thing with like a lot of uh Metroidvania games. Is modern Metroidvania games is that like they tend to have like weird control schemes.
either weird control schemes or they're just ludicrously difficult.
Yeah.
Like there was one Metroidvania I played. Trying to remember what it was called because I played it and I just fell in love with it.
Crescent
And
the Moon.
I don't think it was Curse of the Moon. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, Ritual. Right. Okay.
I played that and I fucking loved it. And I didn't 100% it. I think I got close to 100%ing it. I think I was trying to go out of my way. Okay, I got about 50% of the trophies. Because I looked it up and it's really fucking ridiculous the amount of shit you have to do. It takes like multiple playthroughs, and you have to need a guide because you have to find specific secrets.
Yeah.
The other game I've been meaning to play is Death's Gambit. My brother played it, and he has just been preaching it to me. So, yeah, I have like 5 or 6 games I need to play, but I've just been letting myself get distracted by Minecraft, Smite, and Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Also, with Smite, there is a Amon Brigitte that's now released.
Right.
She released in between episodes. We talked about her for a little bit last episode because I brought it up. She's supposed to be a magical assassin.
Yeah.
So she's just Alquan, basically. She's a mage, but she does her damage close range. She's actually going currently through the ringer of nerfs because she's kind of overpowered. One of her abilities or her passive literally is you hit an enemy god so many times, and then they take like up to 70% of their health just gone.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm just like, how did you guys not think this was going to cause her to just straight up like one-shot certain gods? Like, the fuck?
And like, that's kind of why they removed like Haste and Fatalis, because that was like a major thing for Ao Kuang to run Haste and Fatalis and just spam autos and then dragon.
Yeah, it was literally. I think you would literally with Ao Kuang, you wouldn't use anything other than your weapon charge, auto attack them until you saw the X, and then just ult. That was it. And I think it was similar. People were doing similar things on Freya to mixed results with her because of her autos, but they weren't getting the same like kill potential because Freya doesn't have a fucking execute.
Yeah. And
Which
now they run rings for
Freya.
yeah, or well, at least when I was still playing, they ran
Um,
rings.
a lot of the rings have been balanced, so they're not nearly as powerful.
Mm.
Which I'm sure even when you were playing, like that doesn't come as a surprise that those rings have been nerfed.
Yeah.
Um, Nowadays most people will build like 1 or 2 rings, and then they'll just build your basic mage stuff, so power items,
Mm-hmm.
um, and whatnot. Like, I actually went against a Kronos in Conquest in the ADC lane. And I was sitting there and I'm like, Kronos carry?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Like, I don't see Kronos, and let alone on carry.
Mm.
And I was playing Soul at the time in ADC because Soul can do a really good job in a carry lane. Because she kind of feels more like a hunter than she does a mage.
Yeah.
So it was definitely I ended up losing most of my fights to him because he fucking was just disgusting with his stuns and everything. But that's the thing, a really good Kronos is really scary.
Oh yeah.
It's like coming against a Kefri and realizing like, oh god, where is he going to be?
Yeah. Like James was really good with Chronos, and also Mo was like really good with Capri.
A good Kefri can, because Kefri jungle is a thing and it's really scary
I've seen it.
because like I've gone against it too. Because all of a sudden, if you don't have wards, all of a sudden a Kefri can just come out of the jungle, grab one of your teammates, and just drag him into the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a horror film. It's just whoop.
And because he's a tank,
You don't expect it.
yeah. Also he just takes hits.
Yeah. Um. And in this recent balance patch, that they just are dropping, Set was nerfed because Set's like a really disgusting assassin right now.
Mm.
And then they buffed Cuckoo. You know, a mage that doesn't really need buffing. And
Yeah, he
let
was.
alone, yeah, and let alone he has one of the most broken passives for an early god, which is more mana equals more damage.
Yeah.
Whereas 90% of magic power items have mana attached to them.
Cuckoo was already top tier. Why did they need to buff him?
Because he's been dropping. He's actually been dropping in like popularity because other mages have been doing better than him. Especially Maman Brigitte, who can just, come up to him and one-shot him. So they're like, okay, we'll buff Cuckoo. Let's buff his tornado. You know, the thing that can literally, like, fucking rip people to shreds if he's built right.
Why did they buff Tornado? That was his best move.
Other than his ult, yes. It's literally his best ability. And the funny thing is I think they knew it would get comboed with Ganesh because Ganesh got nerfed in his ultimate.
Mm.
They nerfed the slowdown and the protection shred, and I'm like, is that because they don't want people using Ganesh ult and then Cuckoo just tornadoing on it to just completely make it worse, him nuking them? So, yeah.
Yeah, Ganesh ult into Ganesh 3 with Cuckoo ult is devastating.
Most times out of 10, if you're not a Guardian, and even then, you're probably getting one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think as a Cerberus, I got hit by that, and I think I went down to like 100 health from like 4,000. Because Cuckoo had so much penetration, and then I just got so many of my protections shredded.
Mm-hmm.
So to be fair, Cerberus is not that great at being a support.
Weirdly enough. I mean, he was a lot.
Yeah.
He was a lot better of a support the last time I played.
Yeah, that was probably closer to his release.
Because like now you have characters like Maui and other gods that can do support a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And even Cthulhu, he does support better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to play Cerberus? You might as well just play Cthulhu. So, um,
Speaking of eldritch gods, uh, so we recently finished uh our campaign for D&D,
okay,
and we already started a new one.
okay,
Yeah, and so far it's been really good. And that's kind of why I told you before 7,
yeah,
because I have D&D after this. And so we're in a region that's basically Greece.
gotcha,
Yeah. Uh my character is a lion,
gotcha.
or well, an anthropomorphic lion. Uh and 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 I'm not the only one,
Oh,
cuz there's 2 other anthropomorphic lions, and then
right.
a cat person on
Gotcha.
on our crew, although the cat person is not always attentive
That's
enough
funny.
to actually have any impact. But
Right.
the 2 other anthropomorphic lion people, or leonins, uh like they're all of our personalities are so different
Oh, I bet.
that it makes for like a really fun dynamic, because my character is like very like justice oriented and stoic and whatnot,
Yeah.
because of deity, because I'm a warlock.
Right.
And then and then the other one, the other Leonin, uh uh he is a well, the character's a she. She's a she's sort of like a warforged in a
Okay.
sense. But
I get what you mean.
yeah, she's a warforged in a sense, but also a Leonin. So but she's also a gunslinger.
Okay.
So that has a fun dynamic, because it's just like it's like robots don't really exist properly in this world. Neither do
Right.
guns. So like everybody that sees this character and fights this character is just like, what?
Right.
They're always like
Yeah.
super confused as to what's going on.
Yeah. Um. But
But the character's been like actually like really helpful throughout
yeah.
the campaign. And then the third one, uh, it, this character is like a uh, he explained it as it just imagine Tony the Tiger, but also Randy Savage.
That's great. I just imagine fucking a tiger sitting there being Macho Man Randy. It's like, what the fuck?
It's just like a wrestler. It's a barbarian. So
I
they'll
just you said wrestler, and I literally just thought of fucking Incineroar, but with Macho Man Randy's voice coming from him.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's essentially what it was. It's really funny, because
Sounds like
like they're also, because of the fact that they're a barbarian, they're not very intelligent,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they have like a really decent charisma stat. So it's just like it's just like really funny interactions with me, the very very stoic, justice oriented lion character, and then Randy Savage.
Yeah. Your camera broke again, so
Yeah, yeah. It's just like you have on this side you have Aslan, from Narnia, and then on this side you have Tony the Tiger.
yeah.
It's just
But
it's just a
it's
really
a bunch of
fun game.
goofiness.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going on 2.5 hours almost, I think.
No, we're on like the 2 hour mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we started at like 250, 350. So yeah, 2 hours. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we definitely want to wrap it up because you got to get going to D&D, and we're pushing way past what we normally go.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone a half hour past what we normally do.
I'm like, we tend to do that often. Like,
And honestly, that's fine. It makes up for the shortness I think we had last episode.
yeah.
Because I think we had at like the hour mark.
No, we did end it off at hour 30, but it was
It was the episode before that during the heat wave that we had to end early because I was just dying.
yeah.
Like, it was getting very clear by the end of that episode. I was very uncomfortable because the heat was just killing me.
Yeah. I mean, like,
So-
episode 2 does go past the 2 hour mark, so
I think that was also one where we had a lot to talk about.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll do the wrap up. All right. So on that note, we're hitting the 2 hour mark, and Ivan's got D&D tonight, so he's got to get going.
Yeah.
So on that note, I want to thank you guys for coming. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you for listening, and please feel free to share this around, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and whatnot. I'm Brittany,
I'm Ivan.
and we will catch you guys on the next episode of Flag Nerds.